Post office.
郵便局
In this lesson, we are going to learn what Japanese staff at a post office will ask and say to you. So imagine you are walking into the post office with some mail or a box to send back home. The first thing they'll probably say is,
航空便ですね
this is stating the obvious. Kokubin is airmail. Desu ne? And that's sort of like a confirmation. And you would simply reply, "Hi." If you do have a box, they'll tell you this.
ここに置いてください
Kudasai is a request. Oite is the te form of oku, meaning to put or place. Koko ni means here. So they're probably referring to the counter. Please put it on the counter. Then they'll ask you,
中身は何ですか
what's inside? Nakami means contents. Nan desu ka? What? Nakami wa nan desu ka? What's inside? Then you will have to fill in a form, won't you, Kaoru?
Yes.
And it can be a little bit confusing. And it'll actually have several copies. So you have to press really hard when you're writing your address and what's inside. So the staff will make this request.
これに記入してください
I think we've learnt this before. Kinyu meaning fill in. So they're probably actually handing you the form as they say this. One more time, Kaoru.
これに記入してください
Please fill in this form. Moving on to the next expression, Kaoru.
割れ物は入っていませんか
Waremono means fragile goods. Haitemasen ka? Let's have a look at the verb haitemasu or hairu. Hairu means to be inside. So the question is asking, is there any fragile goods inside? Even though it's a negative form, I guess we could say, are there no fragile goods inside?
Yes.
Don't confuse hairu with ireru. Even though it's the same kanji, ireru means to put in, but this is asking what's already inside. So, hairu, haitemasen ka? Are there no fragile goods inside? If you are sending something fragile or important, you may need insurance. Kaoru.
保険つけますか
Hoken means insurance. Tsukemasu ka is shall I add insurance? So that's fairly simple. Now here's an interesting expression that you probably can only, or that you would only be asked if you were probably sending mail within Japan. Is that right, Kaoru?
Yes. Only the domestic
Mail.
parcel.
Domestic parcels. And they have a name for that? Is it U-Pack?
Yes, you pack.
Okay, Kaoru, what's the question?
日にち、時間指定はないですか
So another negative question, but really just asking a normal question. Hinichi means date, so any date, like the 4th of April. Jikan shite wa nai desu ka? Shite means appointed, so jikan shite means appointed time. So this question is asking, would you like it to be sent on a certain date at a certain time?
Yes.
So let's say it's something extremely important and you want to make sure that it gets to the person you're sending it to. You could ask for this service. Do they charge for this?
No.
Oh, so it's just fantastic Japanese service, being very thorough. Okay, let's say you are sending something back home in time for Christmas, and if you want to make sure it gets there in time, how would we ask, how long will it take, Kaoru?
どれくらいかかりますか?
It's a fairly simple question. Maybe we've looked at that before. So in reply, let's say it was going to take a week.
1週間くらいかかります。
So kakarimasu means to take in terms of time. It is also used for money, as in how much does something cost. So 1週間ぐらい, about 1 week. It takes about 1 week. Moving on, Kaoru. This one's a little tricky to understand. お客様 means customer. So お客様の控え means customer copy. So they're giving you a copy of the form you've filled in, and they're actually saying this as they hand it to you. So こちらは this お客様の控えになります. This is your customer copy. And an interesting point about お客様 is they'll actually refer to you or even call you お客様 when they're talking to you. So it's something that doesn't really happen in English-speaking countries. The staff will never say, "Excuse me, customer, could you come here?" Or "Excuse me, customer, this is your receipt." They'll probably say "sir" or "ma'am." But in Japan, sometimes you'll hear staff call you "okyakusama," and it's polite. So don't misunderstand. They're calling you customer. They're being polite when they use this phrase, aren't they, Kaoru?
Yes.
So that's something I found a bit unusual when I sort of discovered it. That guy called me "okyakusama." That's strange. I thought it was really strange, but it's
そうですか。
it's normal in Japan. But all this means is here is your copy in a very polite Japanese.
はい。
And then another great service is
配達証明はいりますか?
Haitatsu shomei means proof of delivery. Irimasu ka? Do you need? Do you require?
です。
One more time, Kaoru.
配達証明はいりますか?
はい、お願いします。いいえ、結構です。There we have it. That was a quick, easy lesson. So if you're sending something from Japan back home, you know how to do it. You know what to understand. Now you can practice listening to these expressions in the listening practice audio. And we'll see you in part 2.